G'day guys, Wereman here, welcome back to the workshop. I'm ploughing through these formation types. Got a quiet little Sunday morning. Sit here and go through formation types. So we're still technically on page 21 of the clan box set rulebook. We're looking at the fire star today. Yeah, it stops on there. Okay. So the fire star is basically fire support star, like basically, but it's not quite. They can be direct fire or they can be indirect fire support. So they just call them a fire star, and I think in campaign ops they go through a few different variants of it. So there is an indirect one. I think there's even an artillery star, which is kind of cool. But first things first, quotations. So, fire stars carry powerful long-range weaponry, which enables them to stay far away from enemy forces and rain down devastating fire with less risk of being attacked themselves. My kind of unit. I like it. The requirements, everything's fairly simple in this one. So the requirements, at least 75% of the units in this formation must possess either the missile boat or sniper unit roles. Okay, so missile boat is leaning more towards the indirect fire type thing that I like. So you've got a lot of cluster headers, you've got a lot of that sort of stuff going on. The sniper unit role is leaning more towards things like awesomes and stuff that have one or a few single high damage weapons, right? That go out to a decent range. And that could be nasty. The ideal role, though, is listed as missile boat. So if you don't build it by the requirements, you can just take missile boats and build a fire star that way. It means you wouldn't be able to include most of the variants of something like an awesome, but you could easily build a fire star with archers, longbowmen, that sort of stuff. And yeah, the bonus ability at the beginning of each turn, up to 2 Firestar units may receive the Sniper ability, which will affect weapon attacks during that turn. The Sniper ability is the one that reduces all weapon attack target number modifiers by half. So if you're shooting at medium range, you only get a +1 instead of a +2, and if you're shooting at long range, you get a +2 instead of a +4. And for something like an archer or an awesome with its PPCs, that is pretty good. Long-range missiles, you can be out to 21 hexes away and still only get a +2 modifier. That's pretty good. That's pretty damn good. I like that. The more of them I can drop before they get to shoot at me, the better I feel. But that's a fairly simple, straightforward formation build. 75% would be 3 out of 4 of a lance, so that's not too hard to do. For a star, I guess you'd have to go. No, you'd probably go 3 as well. 3 out of 5, and for a level 2, I guess you'd have to go 4 out of 6. You just have to get as close as you can, I guess. But if you can find all missile boats, so for a level 2, you'd have to have 6 missile boats. That's so cool. I think I'm going to have to go Comstar. But yeah, up to 2 of them get the sniper ability. So I think that's well worth it. I think that's awesome. For such an easy build, you've got also a fairly easy set of requirements, and you've got a nice simple ability that gives you a really cool effect. So yeah, I like that a lot. If we do end up doing this scenario the way I think we're doing it, I could very well end up with one of these fire lancers, but we'll have to see. The main group of missile boat units that you would think of as a regular Innisphere player. You would have your trebuchet, your archer, and your catapult. Also, you could probably put in their longbow as that sort of highly recognizable missile boat units. There's the Timberwolf as well as clan stuff. But as I've done with the others, I'm looking here at master unit list. You have 361 different battle mech versions of various chassis that count as missile boats. You have 188 combat vehicles. That's a lot of vehicles. Well, it's a lot of versions of vehicles. You've got a bunch that are fairly light as well. The armored personnel carriers and the Rotunda scout vehicle has a missile boat option, which is insane. There's a bunch of different fairly light units that are technically classed as missile boats. I mean, I've swiped up 3 or 4 times and we haven't even hit 50 tons yet. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there's a bunch of hovercrafts and things that count as missile boats. So 188 different units, well, different models that you could use. There's 30 different infantry types, mostly battle armor. I think there's a couple of field support things in there. There's 9 industrial mechs, which is kind of cool. 10 different proto mechs. And then you've got 8 support vehicles and 3 advanced support vehicles. Now, the advanced support vehicles are actually the Lucius Zhao escort carrier, which is like an aircraft carrier, like a naval aircraft carrier. They're 15,000 tons each, 15,000 tons each. And they're ranging from 12,500 BV up to 14 and a bit. But they have quite a lot of weaponry on board, which is giving them the missile boat role. But that's kind of cool. I like that. You can get some very, very light end units that count as missile boats. The Baboon for the clans and the Locust for the Innisphere are 2 of the lightest as far as mechs go, obviously. A couple others that I know for sure, the Whitworth. The Whitworth was in the assault ones as a Juggernaut as well, so you can do a whole, well, you can do 2 Lances worth of Whitworths now, which is kind of cool. The Dervish is one that I actually quite like. I've used the Dervish on multiple occasions. It's a very good mech. Then you've got, like I say, the Trebuchet, the Archer, the Catapult, Timberwolf, the Longbow. There's a version of the Awesome that has a bunch of stuff replaced with some long-range missile racks, which technically makes it a missile boat, so that's pretty cool. I think most of the other units for the Awesome count as either snipers or juggernauts, so that could be very interesting to build a couple of Lancers around those. The Yeoman is a very cool, well, it's a freaky looking mech, but it is, as far as I can tell, an actually reasonable missile boat type unit. I don't know how good combat effectiveness wise it is, but it is a missile boat. And one that I actually quite like is the Anubis. The Anubis is one that I saw on Master Unit List when I was building a tournament team. And we were supposed to stick to fairly light mechs, and I'm a missile boat guy. I had my melee fighter, my close-in fighter. I just needed someone with some missiles that I could use. And the Anubis was that unit. It's a pretty decent little mech. It's only 30 tons. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different versions of it that are classed as missile boats, and they go from 833 up to 1,074 BV. It's pretty good. But yeah, there are a lot of different units out there if you want to go missile boat. And that fire support lance getting that sniper role, the sniper ability, it doesn't just do one like type of weapon, it does all of your weapons. So if you can get a unit that has the missile boat role but has a bunch of different weapons, then you can use it to advance. Like a stalker, there's probably a stalker version that counts as a missile boat. I'm going to have a quick look. The point being that the missiles aren't the only ones that have their target modifiers halved. It is across the board. So you can use that to your advantage, get it to be all of your weapons. I can't see. Oh, no, there's two. Yep, okay, one of them's named. So there's one version of the Stalker there that is a missile boat. It's 1624 PV. It's the 3H. So, yeah, I don't know what other weapons it has. I'd have to look it up, but there you go. Like I say, there's a bunch of different units, different sizes of units, different classes of units that you can get that will cover a missile boat thing. So a fire support formation is probably one of the easier ones to build. There's only two different roles that you need if you're going to follow requirements, and there's only one role, and it's a fairly ubiquitous role. There's a lot of them out there that you can find to fit into this fire support lance, and it gives a really, really good benefit. That halving your target movement, the range modifier it's pretty good. But yeah, I don't want to drag on about missile boats because missile boats are my favorites. So I will call it there. Like I say, I'm not sure if these are going up before, after, or during, or being smashed together with the formation rules, but hopefully you guys are getting some benefit out of it, and I will move on to the next one. You guys stay groovy. I'll catch you later.